problem. That problem is that I set a reading goal for myself at the beginning of this year saying that I wanted to read 50 books in 2023. I have never read close to 50 books in a year before, and I knew that this was kind of a high goal, but I also knew that I'm reading more and more as time goes on, and last year I read 36, so I thought, hey, what's 14 more? It's actually a lot more because I am currently like 5 books behind schedule. So we have to make a plan. As of today, I have officially 40 days left in the year, and I still need to read 11 books to hit my goal. If we take a look at the past and see like about how many books I've been reading each month, it's definitely not enough to hit my goal. If I were to keep reading at the pace I'm reading at right now, I would probably hit about like 42 books, 43, but definitely not 50. And so because of that, I've decided I need to make a game plan. I need to really focus and try. Of course, the number of books you read in a year really doesn't matter. Reading one book or any amount of books in a year is great. I am super excited that so far I've read 39. That's probably the most I've ever read in a year, so I'm already super excited and happy about that. But I do want to hit 50. If I don't, I'll be okay. It's not like I'm going to be mad at myself, but I think it would be cool to hit 50. So here is kind of what I'm doing to try and achieve that goal. Between now and the new year, my plan is to read mostly series because I feel like when I read a series, it just kind of like propels me in my reading, because once I read one, I want to continue and know what happens in the story. So because of that, I am going to be reading a lot of YA series between now and the end of the year, because I think that will just be quick and easy to get through, so that hopefully I can hit my goal. Other than series, I'm just pretty much reading really easy, short, fast books. Do I feel like I'm cheating a little bit? Yeah, maybe I do. But that's okay. So today what I wanted to show you guys is the 11 books plus maybe some that I'm hoping will help me hit 50 by the end of the year. Start us off, I am going to read a series that was very popular when I was a kid that I never read, and that is the Maze Runner series. I actually started this last night. I'm like 2 chapters in, and so far I'm feeling like alright about it, but I feel like I don't know enough about it at this point to be super sucked in. But these books are not super long. There's 3 in like the main part of the series. I think it does like get continued afterwards, but I'm pretty sure these 3 are like the main 3. So I'm hoping to read these 3. They should be pretty quick and easy since they are YA. And so these, I'm pretty sure, are kind of like a dystopian type book. I'm hoping for some sort of like Hunger Games vibes, something like that out of them, and something that if I could, maybe could finish like in the next week. We will see how that goes. I just am like really hoping that I get super into these books, because if I'm not super into a book at this point, I've decided that if I don't love a book by like 20% in, I'm just going to DNF it for now and move on to something that I know I can read faster so that I don't put myself in a slump. So these are the first ones I want to try. Next series I want to try is a series that I've actually started before but didn't finish, and that is the Inheritance Games. So I have actually read the first book, but I want to reread it because it's been a while and I don't really like remember all the details. So I want to reread the first one and then do the second and third. And so these books are about a girl named Avery who inherits like a large sum of money, but she has to actually live with the family whose, I think, grandfather died, and that's who like gave her the money. And so she has to live with them, and a lot of them are not very happy with her because she's basically getting their inheritance money. And so it's kind of like a little bit of a mystery, wondering like, why did she inherit it, and trying to figure it out. And there's all these like clues, puzzles. There is a love triangle, and so I really want to read these. My friend has been telling me that she thinks I'd fly through them, so this is something that I really want to read by the end of the year. The next series is one that I know I can read super fast because I've done it before, and that is the Selection series. I read this in high school. I actually only read these 3, and then I read like the second series spin-off about the daughter, but I haven't actually read this, which this is like a companion novel, so I think it has like short stories that you read in between these. So when I read these, I'm pretty sure I read the whole like 5-book series, including America's Story and then her daughter, I think Evelyn was her name or something like that. I've read all those, and it only took me a week or 2 to read those 5, so I know I can read these quickly. and I really love this series and have been wanting to reread it anyways, and I'm super excited to get the extra stories. I think that we get some other POVs and stuff like that, so this is one that I'm hoping will kind of be my saving grace because I know I can read it fast and I know I love it. These stories are about a girl named America, and she is chosen for the selection, which is essentially kind of like The Bachelor, but make it royalty. So there's like this prince who's trying to find his wife, and so they get a girl from every, I don't know what they call it, I guess like districts if you're thinking like Hunger Games, but it's kind of like they're all have like a number. And I think within the numbers you can't date like another number. She kind of already has a boyfriend who's a different number than her, and so it's kind of also a love triangle, which of course I already know what happens, but I love this series and I've been wanting to reread it for a while. I think it'd be the perfect thing to help me hit 50 books. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I have a little stack here going. So next I have less of like series and more of just like short books that I think I could read pretty fast. So the first ones I want to mention, these books actually, I don't know if I'll like these or not. These are kind of a shot in the dark, but they're super short, and these are kind of like going to be my last resort. Like if I'm, you know, it's December 29th and I still need to read 2 more, I'm going to go for one of these because they're really small. My Pop actually gave these to me, and these are supposed to be little mystery books, and they're all very short, and like the words are also like really big on the pages, but they're all about like one main guy who solves a lot of like mysteries, I think like murders, crimes, things like that. And I think there's also a British television series that's like based on these books, and so he recommended me to read these and he gave me 3 of them, and so I'm going to try and possibly get through these if I need something to like help me hit that 50. I don't really know how I feel about them, but I definitely want to try at least one since my Pop recommended them to me, and I want to see if I like them. As of right now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The thing is, I'm very much a mood reader, so I know I can't put it just exactly 11 books on this list because I'll probably change my mind throughout the month of what I want to read. So a couple other random books that I'm going to put on here. Number 1, I have Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I have no idea what this book is about, but the way that I usually work with like Colleen Hoover type books is just like if I'm in a book slump and need something that's like quick and like fun and just a little silly, I usually pick up one of her books. They're usually romance, very romance heavy, but just kind of like ridiculous a lot of the times, but they're really easy to get through, and so I really like that about them, and so I think this might be a perfect thing to help me hit my reading goal. So this book is about a woman and her daughter and how they kind of don't get along, and the only thing that really keeps them together is, I believe, like the husband and father in their family, but then I think something tragic happens to him, and so I think it has something to do with like navigating their relationship between the mother-daughter, but I assume that there's probably going to be romance because Colleen Hoover. So that is another book. The next one I have is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. As of right now, I'm not really feeling like a thriller, but that doesn't mean that that won't happen by the end of the year, so I wanted to put one on this list, and I just read His and Hers by Alice Feeney and really liked it, and it was really easy and quick to get through. So this is another one I've been wanting to read for a long time. It's really highly recommended by the book girlies. Like, I know Sarah and Haley and a lot of other people on YouTube have been recommending this, so I've been wanting to read it for a super long time, so I am going to put this on the list just in case I get in the mood for a thriller. Another book I have is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau, and this book is more of like just a fiction, I believe, like a general fiction. It's about a girl who basically becomes a nanny at this house that's like run very differently than how her house is, and I believe it's just kind of about her like exploring and navigating what it's like to be in a world very different from her own. I don't know a ton about it, but I have been wanting to read this for a while, and it seems like it would be really quick. If you guys can see, the words are pretty big, and it's not super long. It's like about 300 pages. So I am also putting this on the TBR. I have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is one where my heart is telling me yes, but my brain is telling me no. I want to read this book so bad because I've been rereading Harry Potter, and this is the book I'm on, but y'all, it's like, how long is it? It's like over 700 pages, right? If I'm trying to read 50 books by the end of the year, I shouldn't be reading a 700-page book that is only going to count as one, right? I could read like 3 of these instead. but this is what I really want to read, so I just know I probably will by the end of the year pick this up, and the same goes for the other books in the series as well. I want to read the whole series, but I just don't know if I'll get to it by the end of the year. But this is one that I definitely want to read, probably the most out of any of these, because I'm super into the series again, and this is about the point where my memory goes a little shaky as far as the plot. I remember the first two really well. The third one, reading it was almost like reading it for the first time again. I remember the major plot points. I remember really big things, but I don't remember the details. It's not like I'm anticipating everything that's coming, and so I'm super excited because I know that this is one of my favorite books from the series. I just don't remember it that well. So this is definitely one that I want to get to so soon. The last book I want to put on this list is called War Hour. It's by Lauren Loskig. I'm not sure if that's how you say her last name, but I actually received this book as an ARC, and I'm about 30% into it, and I am really loving it so far. It's a fantasy book, and it comes out in just a couple days, I believe. By the time this video is up, it actually might already be out, but it's about a girl who basically has to go through these like trials to get superpowers. So in this world, you aren't born with powers, you basically earn them by going through trials. And but there's a lot that goes into that about like where she's from. Usually people are like forced to trial, and it's something that's seen as a punishment, but because not many people survive the trials. And so I don't want to say too much more and spoil it, but it is so good so far, and I am super excited to have received an ARC for this. So I really am hoping to finish this like super soon, because I'm already 30% through it, and I'm really, really loving it. So that is basically my end of year TBR. It is a bit random, I feel like. It's not really giving like Christmassy vibes. I do actually have a Christmas book that I didn't include on this list, but will probably read in December. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the, I think it's Christina Lauren in a Holidays or something. I'll put a picture. I have it too. But these are the ones that I like. This is the goal. This is the plan. We're trying to hit 50. And so this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, including War Hour. So let's just hope I can get to 11 of those. I am really hopeful. I would be so happy if I hit 50, but if I don't, that's okay too. There's always next year. Let me know how you guys are doing on your reading goal. What are you guys trying to get to? I know a lot of people on YouTube are trying to hit 100 like pretty much every year. That is just so not feasible for me. I absolutely could not. I'm in school full time and I work, so I just don't really like have time to read that much, and honestly I don't want to like turn it into something where I feel like pressured to do it and stop enjoying it. So I love that some people can read 100 books in a year. That's crazy, but it's just not going to be me, at least not at this point in my life. So let me know what you guys are trying to hit, or if you've already hit your book goal. I'd love to hear what some of your guys' favorite books have been from the year so far, and if you have any other good recommendations for books that I could read super fast, I would be really grateful to hear them, because I very much might need them. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!